we've also learned the president signed an executive order which establishes specialized National Guard units to address crime in cities. ABC 7's Eric Hong downtown with late-breaking details tonight.
The mayor and governor say there's been no communication from the White House and say that lack of coordination, even with police, shows the Trump administration isn't serious about lowering crime.
In a show of solidarity, elected officials joined dozens of business, faith, and civic leaders in denouncing what they called a presidential power grab.
The president of the United States is doing this for theatrics. This is not because we've asked for it. It is not because there is some justice that he is going to seek. It is because he wants to create chaos.
Earlier, President Donald Trump signing an executive order that aims to create specialized units in the National Guard, trained in quelling civil disturbances and ensuring the public's safety and order. It also establishes a quick reaction force, available for rapid nationwide deployment, a clear sign the president wants to use the Guard in domestic law enforcement.
Chicago, everybody knows how bad it is. Everybody standing there knows. We know. You don't have to be doing any studies. They should be saying, please come in.
We should have done this a long time ago so that every neighborhood in Chicago deserves the same safety and security that we enjoy in the suburbs.
But an ABC 7 data team analysis of Chicago police crime numbers shows overall violent crime and homicides at their lowest level year to date since 2014.
There is no emergency in the city of Chicago. I think you can see what a lovely place this is.
The governor staging a photo op on a boat on the Chicago River to dispute the president's view that Chicago is a mess.
This is an authoritarian stunt. This is a declaration of war on our people.
It will impact businesses' bottom lines and ability to operate efficiently. It will impact tourism and employees getting to their jobs.
But some Republicans say the Guard can make a difference.
And if we even save one life, I think it's worth the challenge, because Chicago has been crime-ridden for so long and people have had enough.
But is it legal? Constitutional experts say the president can only...
Look at that scene. Imagine seeing, these troops posted up on the corners in these cities. I'm going to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the Most High God, in the name of his only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahushua, through the Holy Spirit, Rakah Kodash, peace and mercy and grace to the household of faith, beginning with the elect, 144,000 servants to men, the servants to prophets that have been sent to condemn this world through the testimony of Yahushua and the spirit of prophecy. 2 Ezra 15:1, it reads, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy." And that's what the men of, Great Millstone, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Tahar, that even, their elders, that's what, on down, that's what the men have been doing faithfully and diligently, is speaking into, who we call affectionately the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. And we've been speaking the ears of prophecy unto you for a very long time, right? It says, "Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." So the words of prophecy are faithful and true, and we're witnessing the last days. And the beast system is honing in on its final end game plan and devices. And part of that is setting up a system that's going to, move the people into their submission, because they have but a short time. So they're beginning with the deployment of the guards, and this is going to further escalate. So I want to jump down 2 Ezra 15 and verse 14. It reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Oh, they're violating the Constitution. He doesn't believe in the First Amendment, Second Amendment. They're coming for your Second Amendment rights. Right, you read the comments. What was that comment at? It was a quote. I don't know if he said this or not, but you might want to fact check it. But if he did, this is heavy. He says, "Anyone who thinks this is a good idea, remember Trump in 2017, quote, take the guns first, due process second," unquote. Right? So if you think you're gonna come for our guns and we're gonna give our guns up, you got another thing coming there, boy. So, this could be the beginning of this. People standing up fighting against another swords in their hands. Next verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. So sedition goes into speech and behavior, activity, conduct that incites rebellion against authorities. So we see the chief, the commander-in-chief and his chief authority setting up these troops, in these cities, beginning at D.C., expanding to potentially Chicago and these other areas to quote-unquote crack down on crime, which crime, according to them and their science, is the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. All right, you're the face of crime in this system. Their scientific racism links you to criminal behavior. That's why they always usher out those statistics such as, you're 13% of the population, but yet you make up the majority of the violent crimes, and you're the majority locked up and incarcerated. That's why they continue to make these talking points, and they spit this out, and they continuously set up these rappers and degenerates to promote criminal behavior and activity amongst you. And you continue to cycle. So verse 16, continuing on, it says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And Donald Trump would be a modern day king within this society. He's the chief. He's the head CEO. He's the head person in command. He's like a king-like figure. And you got a lot of people that are rebelling against him and protesting. And you got this video I was just looking at.
Do this for every single one of you American citizens. We burn this flag in protest to that president. We do this for respect for our citizens and our constitutional rights. What? I'm not putting it out. I can burn it. It's my right. Executive order.
And that's the thing. Today, you really don't have any rights. Your rights only as strong as your ability to enforce them. That's why we speak unto our people the words of prophecy, so that they come back and return to the true God, who is going to restore righteousness to this earth and protect us in these times. Because the beast system is nothing to play with, and this system is coming. All right, they're coming. They're bringing the dragon, the clamp down, the squeeze. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So eventually, this thing is gonna set off with the sedition. People taken to the streets, and it's probably gonna be guys like him that set it off. These type of Edomites, these diehard Americans who's been here, who know the good old days and how things are, how it used to be. They have a full-fledged belief in the Constitution and in protecting those rights and those amendments. The veterans everyone knows that they don't get taken care of as well as they should. These people are likely going to lead the sedition, the rebellion against this authoritative system that's happening right before us, which is nothing but the beast, Babylon the Great, appearing as a lamb and speaking as a dragon. So that's pretty much, the main thing. Mike can get one more, because I know the GMS Dallas elder always bring this out and says that this could be Donald Trump. This is the message to Egypt, Isaiah 19. And I start at the top. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right, the Lord riding upon a swift cloud is the Lord's presence in the midst of the glorious chariots. Verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother and every one against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to idols, to the charmers, to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Yeah, they're going to seek to, their priesthood, They're witches, you know, because that's what ancient Egypt was known for. You know, they had a priestess, their priesthood. They would consult with the different so-called gods. And today, that's the same thing. Verse 4 says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts." Yeah, so I know he always, says that Donald Trump could be that cruel lord, that cruel tyrant, because I think in another version pretty much uses the word tyrant. Might be in the GNT. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to bring that out, this this lesson. And then you see what they did to him for so-called exercising his right. And you people gonna see y'all ain't got no rights no more, man. You're occupied. This is an occupied country that's sold out to the small hats. This is not a constitutional republic anymore. All right. So, Lord willing, the Lord speeds this thing up and makes his deliverance soon and takes us out in that swift cloud. All right. All praise to Yahweh Shem Shah.